Hello, everyone, and welcome to Six Figure Souls Doing Good and Making Money. This is a very special season 7, highlighting my co-authors of our new collaborative book project, The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Successful Soul Professional. I am your host, Camille Miller, lead author for the book and pioneer of the soul professional movement. Today, we are interviewing one of my co-authors, Jennifer Pietrzak. She is a CPA out in Connecticut. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Camille. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I also want to give you a plug that Jennifer is our mentor and host of our Woo and Wealth micro community. And she's also done some free master classes that are available to you guys for those that follow more than this. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So Jennifer, tell the audience, I know people are probably thinking a CPA, soulful, what the heck is going on here? And I think it's so interesting when we have especially very logical minded people, right? Which I kind of am too, right? I always say we're more about bringing together science and soul, because I feel like it's very logical people that have hidden that spiritual side their whole lives. So I want to talk a little bit. Let's open up about what you do, and then we're going to dive into the other side of you, the whole soulfulness side.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a CPA, which is a certified public accountant. So I do the ordinary things that most people would expect, bookkeeping, income tax preparation, some advisory work, all the normal stuff. But as I've been doing this for a couple decades now, I realized that, the people who are coming to me need a little bit more. So as I've been working with self-employed business owners, I've noticed that sometimes there's a little bit of a fear of numbers. Sometimes, there's just something a hurdle that we need to get over, just like in life, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm all about being the change that you want to see. So as I recognized this in myself and did my own inner work and started really seeing that, sharing that journey has helped my clients, I now integrate, that logical part that you were talking about. So like the mental, the emotional, and also energetics into how we heal and how we do our accounting and numbers.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, well, first let me say, you used to work for a very large firm.
Yes, I worked at Deloitte Tax, and then I worked for, some regional firms.
Yeah. So, but now as an entrepreneur, you've opened up your own firm.
Yes.
Right.
And
yeah. So I just want to point that out, that you went from big to your own, the whole entrepreneurial journey, which I'm sure was quite difficult in its own. But then you also put this little soulful spin on everything that you do to really help, like you said, to help people get to know really the fear behind the numbers, right? Their fear, their money blocks and all of that. And how did you integrate that into your practice and be totally open and okay with it? And was there any resistance, one from you, and then I want to ask from your clients at any time?
Oh, great questions. It's been a slow and fast journey. And what I mean by that is, when you identify that something's not quite right in your career or in the trajectory of what the career looks to be, you notice it, but you don't know how to fix it right away. Just like in business, right? Whatever, things come up and, we identify, and the awareness alone is a huge part of it, but it's not the end of the journey. So from the time that I had an awareness, I was still working at firms. I wasn't working for myself, and it took a while to get to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm ready to do this. And I thankfully had a mentor at the time who was like, yeah, you can do this, and this is how you do it. So I didn't do it alone. And, I thought it was going to go in one direction and it went in a different direction. And then still I found myself back at that space of awareness of, this feels like I'm doing something that's only one part of me. And I just got
Mm.
to a point in my life where that was unacceptable. It was unacceptable, and more than unacceptable, inauthentic, to not bring every part of myself into what I do. And quite frankly, like most entrepreneurs, my whole heart and soul is in my business at this
Yeah.
stage of my life. So to not to negate a part of myself, and that's like the soulful side, as we say, and the healing side, and the intuition and the channeling
Yeah.
and all these other things that our peeps really are interested in. That came slow, and then all of a sudden it was a whirlwind. And as soon as I started opening up my mouth about, oh yeah, I'm taking this class, or I've learned how to energy heal, people were like, sign me up for that. And I
Wow.
was shocked. I absolutely shocked. I was like, I am taking a real risk here. Normally we have a conversation about accounting, the numbers, and they're like so happy to put the numbers aside and explore these other aspects, the
Mm.
underlying aspects. But of course, being the professional that I am, I want to connect those things together. So
Right.
we end up having these really wonderful conversations about, why is it that people don't want to look at the numbers with me? What's going on emotionally? What's
Mm.
going on in their heads? And when we can identify those things and actually honor them and bring them into our conversation, we get to a different place. We make progress instead of, oh, that 20 minutes or an hour is over, So it's much more fulfilling. But to speak to, have I gotten any resistance? I've gotten some furrowed eyebrows, I would say.
Okay.
But it hasn't been anything that's like, oh no. And you know what? It's okay if that is the response, because, we can't serve everyone.
Right.
We're here to serve our people, as I say. And my people, I'm still finding them. Um, but we're on a mission, I think, to share what our brilliance is, what our unique gifts are. And I'm here to connect the dots for my people. And if that's not everybody, that's okay.
Yeah, it can't be everybody, right?
Right, right. I mean, I wouldn't sleep.
Yeah, yeah, right. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, are you awakening, or do you feel like you've always been awake?
Um, honestly, I feel like I've been holding it down.
Okay. I understand that. Yeah.
And like it's taken a lot of energy and effort. And by holding it down, I feel like I've opened myself up to other people's energies, taking on other people's beliefs. It should be a certain way, or this is
Mm-hmm.
how we do
Mm-hmm.
business, or this is the way the accounting world is. So suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah.
Um, and that's okay. Like that way works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. It
Mm.
serves plenty of people and helps people be very successful. We're all different though. And so my practice is really about honoring, who is showing up, how they are showing up with me in
Mm-hmm.
our work.
Mm-hmm.
And that only works if I do that in reverse. So I had to start honoring that part of myself that I was kind of suppressing a little bit. And as soon as I engaged in an awakening, I would call it.
Yeah.
Um, it's almost like a reawakening, though. It's not like something that's happening for the first time. It's
Okay. That
it's
makes
coming
sense.
back to something that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Our
Home.
natural self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
curious, in this journey, did you change friend groups or peer groups or professional groups? Because I would, or do you just not mention it in certain circles? Because I think a lot of entrepreneurs that are probably listening to this have that struggle a little bit of, do I mention it? And you have the type of job being a CPA, you can walk into any business networking, people know what you do,
yeah.
right? And you can either throw in the woo or hold back the woo, and you don't have to mention that side. So
You know, it has actually been a lot easier to just be who I am.
I love that.
wherever I go.
Yep.
And I have to give kudos to, I was in a BNI group a while back that I'm no longer with, but I expected BNI to be very stuffy. And it's all about the people that you're attracting. And I was with this wonderful kind of enlightened group of people that missed this part of themselves. And I was like, if they could do this, I can do this. If I can be who I am in any place, I think I'm just going to call in more people that I can help. So I don't feel like I have to stifle it anymore. I mean, maybe with my mom, but let's be real here. There's going to be some people in our lives that
that's okay.
Communication is going to be a little bit different.
Yep.
From a networking perspective, no, it's I am who I am. It's not a take it or leave it thing. It's just here's what's possible. Join if you want.
I love that. I love that. No, you are adding some new things to your business. And I know that you just had something on Saturday. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I think it's cool as hell.
Yeah, thank you. It is. So I did just kind of like a pop-up event special, offering, 50 minutes to 5 different people, of an intuitive business reading. And, it came out of this idea that people need help reading their financial reports. That's how this idea was born, actually.
Yeah.
Although I can say maybe 2 of the 5 people actually brought their financials. And still received wonderful benefits. So the whole idea is we're taking a peek into where your business is at, whether you're using the numbers as a basis or we're using feelings, emotions, or the biggest roadblock. And a lot of it was just being intuitive and understanding that I've seen this before. I've seen people growing their businesses and where they get stuck, and giving them some real tactics to help them move forward. So sometimes it was about the numbers, and sometimes it was about how the numbers were making them feel. Sometimes it was about money. Sometimes it was about authority, or paying taxes. So everybody came kind of the way that they were, and we just had a great time. We laughed, we cried, we made some shifts, and it was really awesome. So I think ultimately, what I discovered was this is something that is needed. This is something that people want even more than just sitting down with their accountant and categorizing, okay, well, I did this or I did that. What does it mean?
Yeah. It sounds comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds very comfortable. Like you're recognizing the person across from you, not just the numbers they're giving you. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. All right. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about your chapter. Or your writing of the book. Let's put it that way. I don't want to give away too much in your chapter, but it was amazing. But this was your first time authoring a piece of a book. And I want to talk a little bit about what was that experience like for you?
Well, it was tax season. I was writing this piece of the chapter, and in all fairness, I did have the opportunity to, maybe write a little bit earlier before, but it was really important to me to be with the other authors through this process and go through that together, because we did have a process and it was beautiful. So, and I'm so glad I did that, because inspiration hits at certain moments. It's not like, okay, I got to sit down and I got to do this and it's going to be done. It was, okay, I wrote out what I thought it was going to be. And then a week later, like I had all of these shifts for myself and I was like, whoa, we need to write about this. So, it was in the moment.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes I hear that it's like therapeutic, or I'm worried about it getting out there, or you're feeling very good about it, sounds like.
Yeah, I do. I feel like it's a message that needed to be shared, and I don't necessarily know why, but I have this inner knowing that, it's going to reach the people that need to hear it, and it'll do what it needs to do for that person.
I love that. Why did you decide now was the right time? Like, why this book? Why now? And especially during tax season.
Yeah. Well, you know that I was like, I want to do this, but no, I don't think this is the right time. And then, I'm just going to do it. It's part of my personal journey too,
Okay.
and I felt like if I feel like I have something to offer, if I feel like I have something to give, then the people who need to receive that message are out there and ready too.
Yeah.
So why would I push that off?
That's beautiful. Yeah. I love that. It's just the right people will see it.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to see.
Yeah. And
Love
I want
that.
people to be comfortable with their numbers.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So, share with us the name of your chapter.
Yes. It's a financial breakthrough for reading your numbers with confidence.
Yay. Thank you. Jennifer, for people that want to learn more about you and your work, especially if they want that business reading, because I would recommend it, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so my website is probably the best way to go. It's Jennifer C. Pietrzak, CPA.com. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everyone that Jennifer's full bio and all of her contact information are in the show notes. So in case you're driving or listening to this during your walk, you can just go to the show notes and pick up whatever you need to. You can also go to sixfiguresouls.com and it'll be there as well. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jennifer, so much for being a part of our podcast and being one of the co-authors in my book. I so appreciate your time and your energy and everything that you're giving to us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. All right. And thank you, our listeners today, for joining us. And for more information about the Soul Professional Movement, you can go to soulprofessional.com. This podcast is sponsored by the Natural Life Business Partnership, a global professional organization and business incubator for the soul-aligned entrepreneur. If you live in a higher vibration, have an alternative approach to business, and want to help repair the world, please come join us at another meet and greet. To learn more, you can go to soulprofessional.com to find the dates that work with you and your time zone. Again, thanks everyone. Thanks, Jennifer.